Happy Sunday. You guys, can you believe that we already have a solid month of August under our belt? I can't believe it. Okay, so I want to talk about this challenge that we're starting. Some of you have already started. Some of you are starting tomorrow. I am not officially starting until next Monday, the 16th, because my plan was to complete Transform 20 and then do 75 hard, or our version of 75 hard, with the newest program, 645. It's a lot of numbers. 75 hard, 645. What's happening, right? So the point is, you make this yours and you do it with whatever program you need to do. If that means that you're committed to walking every single day, if that means that you're doing yoga with Adrienne, that's totally cool. If you want to do Transform 20 or you want to do size or any of the other programs, who's to say you can't do that, right? That's the whole point, is this is extra accountability. This is a theme for you to adopt as we move into this month. Well, as we roll through August and into September. But there's really no right or wrong option. I've messaged a lot of you, and I've sent those two little infograph things, right? One is the Positive Vibe Tribe 75 Hard, and the other one is the I Choose Me, which is it's not a simpler challenge, okay? It's just a challenge filled with more grace. And so if you're having a hard time keeping your momentum up, if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, I'm really encouraging you to do the I Choose Me, okay? This isn't a test. There's no right or wrong option. I need you to fully commit to whichever one is gonna serve you. So that being said, I want to talk about how I'm going to do 75 hard. So I've been hearing people talk about 75 hard, other top coaches, Sean Whalen, all these people are doing 75 hard. It's the new shiny penny thing. And I thought about it, and I debated it, and I overthought it. And then I was like, there's no way. Like, I do a lot of those things already, but it just feels way too hard, the whole 75 days. And if I mess up and if I'm a human, then I have failed and I have to go back to day one. And that was my whole objection with it. I mean, I go for walks every day. You see me committed to my workouts. I could use the extra accountability of following a meal plan. I already drink a ton of water. I already do the mindset stuff. I take a selfie every single day. So just the idea of that 75 hard pass or fail was really freaking me out. So I decided that I'm just gonna commit 75 days of my life to this experiment. Did you hear that? I'm committing 75 days of my life to this experiment. I'm not going to start back at day one if I have some alcohol. I'm not gonna go back to day one if I don't get both of my workouts in. I'm not gonna go back to day one and have this whole tarnishy, shamed feeling around it not being perfect, because that's just not real life. And the whole point of this is, number one, it is to challenge yourself. Yes, thank you. But number two, it really is to just get to yourself momentum and to prove to yourself that you can do it. So I'm committing 75 days of my life to 75 hard. I'm still committing to all the things on the list, which if you're like, well, what is 75 hard? 75 hard is 2 45-minute workouts a day. One is inside, one is outside. For me, I will be walking. I walk in the winter here too. Sometimes I ice skate. So that's the first part of it. It's 2 45-minute workouts, okay? The second part is to follow a meal plan, which we have access to really great meal plans. And I know one of my coaches was like, well, I feel kind of weird about following a meal plan. And I was like, but you're following a meal plan. You're probably already doing it. And it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be I am 100% following my containers. I'm 100% keto or whatever. We're all different human beings. So find something or pick something if you haven't been consistent and just see it through for 75 days, okay? I'm not saying you have to eliminate all the things. That's not how I'm gonna do it. I am going to not personally choose not to drink, and I'm gonna cut way back on my sugar just because I know I feel better. I feel better when I do those things. But that being said, if for some reason we have some champagne or something, I didn't fail. I just lived my life. So it's not gonna be going back to day one. It's just picking back up and continuing on the journey. And if I do have one of those moments where maybe I don't check all my boxes, I'm going to take some time to examine it. I'm not going to take time to be shamey about it or feel bad about it, but instead I'm going to be like, what happened? What was my trigger? What was my sabotage, if it was that? And just get comfortable being uncomfortable with that for a few minutes, okay? So that's how I'm going to do it. following the meal plan, a gallon of water, which for me, that will be more water than I'm used to drinking, taking a progress photo every day because, photos tell a story, and sometimes we look at ourselves every day, we don't really notice changes in our bodies until you compare it to something, okay? And then 10 pages of personal development. But the 10 pages of personal development, I think there's a lot of room for interpretation there. I think it could be you choosing to meditate. I think it could be you creating your morning routine and like your gratitude practice. I think that it could be you listening to an audiobook or a podcast. So make it yours. I'm inviting you to come on the journey, to be my accountability, and to allow me to be yours, to use this group, whether it's here on Facebook, over in bod groups, and just level up your journey, which is the whole point. It's not, I'm drawing my line in the sand and I'm going to be 100% hardcore. Like who lives and excels in that area? You might be able to do it for a short-term amount of time, but I don't think that that's sustainable, and that's what this whole group is about, right? It's about creating a lifestyle you can live for forever. So 75 days are going to pass whether or not I choose to do 75 hard or whether or not you choose to do it with me. Those days are going to pass. So I'm going to do something that makes me mildly uncomfortable. I'm not letting myself off the hook because if I do maybe not check all the boxes, I'm not going back to day one. Some of you might think that, and that's fine. You're going to do this the way it needs to be done for you. But if you're one of those perfectionist recovering people like myself, I'm inviting you and challenging you to kind of flip the script around this. And some of you are in Yuma, which is, like the surface of the sun right now. And I know that 45 minute outside workout could be really challenging. But what could you do instead? Could you commit to going for an early morning walk and an late evening walk, like where you break it up? It doesn't have to be 45 minutes all at once. It could be you playing in the pool or going down to the river. Like, you could combine things. You could combine your personal development with going to the river, okay? So think outside the box. This is not a black and white thing that we're doing here. And if you're like, I can't do that, then cool. We have another option, which is the I Choose Me, which we kind of did last month. And it's more of an entry level. There's a lot more boxes to check, but they're all things I think are really important and are going to help you start to believe in yourself and start to get momentum on the journey, so that if you are feeling overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, this is your roadmap. This is where you start. So the I Choose Me challenge is 10 minutes of daily movement. Like, I'd love for you to pick a program. I'd love for you to do 6:45 with me, but I also want to remind you that just because you're short on time, or maybe you have tons of little kids underfoot, you don't just say, well, I'm going to scrap it. You show up and you do what you can, and you celebrate that win. You get momentum that way. So pick a program. And if you only do 10 minutes a day, you do 10 minutes a day, you go on to the next day. You don't do the same workout for an entire week because you're just trying to get through it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what this is, okay? This is you getting momentum. This is you collecting wins to move yourself along your journey. So the next thing is to spend 10 minutes outside. 10 minutes is really easy. I don't care if you are in Yuma. I would still spend my summer mornings outside. I would put my feet in the grass. I would do my energy practice. I would get in a super short walk. I would go in the pool. Like, there's so many ways to get outside, and it's just 10 minutes. Like, you're probably going to spend that in a drive-through somewhere, to be really honest, right? Maybe you even park further away in a parking lot. I don't know. Don't make it overly complicated, okay? Follow a meal plan, which again, it doesn't mean that you've eliminated massive food groups. It just means that you are going to be mindful and that you're going to recommit. You're going to wipe the slate clean. And maybe this is the perfect opportunity for you to try the To Be Mindset, which is more of an intuitive nutrition program. Or maybe you're going to finally bust out those containers and follow along. Or maybe if you're doing 6:45 with me, you're going to actually try intermittent fasting. And I'm chatting with a couple of you about intermittent fasting right now. So I intermittent fasted years and years ago, early on in my journey. It's been so long, I can't even really remember much about how I liked it. I feel like I liked it at the time, but I've kind of gotten away from that. But listening to Autumn explain it, she was like, if you're stopping eating, like if you stop eating after dinner, you're basically intermittent fasting, right? You fast the rest of your evening all night long until you break your fast the following morning. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. We make these things so complicated. And another one of my gals was like, well, I'm so hungry in the morning. Like, I can't wait. Well, then why do you need to wait? Like, everyone is biologically different. Maybe you need to fuel your body first thing. So that means you just roll your window. And there's different windows. Like, there's different lengths. So if you want to try intermittent fasting, maybe you choose a smaller fasting window, but that just reaffirms the kitchen is closed after dinner, which I think for most of us is when we get into a tricky spot, right? That's when you have the second glass of wine. That's when you have a little snacky snack. That's when you get out the chocolate chips from the freezer or whatever. At least that's my story. And when I did my ultimate reset, the kitchen was closed. Like there might be some tea, but that was it. And I think that actually helped me a lot. So again, there's lots of different ways to follow a meal plan. Don't allow that to intimidate you and be like, I can't do that. Next thing is half your body weight in water, which is your bare minimum anyways. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you're going to divide that in half, which would be the number 50. I know, I'm a math scholar. And then you're going to drink 50 ounces. 50 ounces is what? Like, I don't know, 2.5 venti, 2.5 of these. Like, make it happen, yo. And then 10 minutes of mindset work, which again can be your morning routine. It can be a gratitude practice. It can be gratitude work, gratitude journaling. It could be your energy practice. It could be listening to a podcast or a portion of an audiobook. I have been listening to the same audiobook for like a month and a half now. And part of me is like, oh my gosh, like this is so pathetic that I'm still listening to the same book. But you know what? I'm getting a lot out of it, and I just listen to a few minutes every single day or when I'm on my walks, and it all adds up. Why are we in a race? Why is there this contest of I have to get through this many books or this many whatevers? If you're getting something out of it, that's ultimately the point. That's why we're doing it. So it's okay if it's just a little bit here and there, right? It all adds up, okay? And then 10 minutes of joy. Turn on some music. Read for fun. Snuggle with your pets, like find some joy. Maybe it is you like to flower arrange, or maybe you want to do something kind for a neighbor. Like what brings you joy? It's totally subjective and personal. And the final thing was eat a vegetable with lunch. And if your shake is your lunch, well then cool. Go ahead and like throw a zucchini or some cauliflower rice or a handful of spinach or some powdered greens into your shake. Like I know for me, I definitely have gotten away from eating enough vegetables, so I'm going to be prioritizing that. But those are the two different ways to do this, okay? The workout piece, that's totally separate. I mean, it's a part of it. It's built into these because it's another part of you getting momentum on your journey and winning, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. So like I said, if you need to go for a walk, cool. If you're into swimming right now, that's amazing. If you want to do PYO or any of our other 500 million workouts, you have the liberty to do that. I don't want you to be like, well, I need to do this because she's doing that. I want you to take a second and figure out what serves you, what makes your body feel good, what brings you joy, and then actually carve out the time to do that. And if you're super freaking busy, like all of us are, this is about you prioritizing your journey. I shared about this on my stories today. Like my kids were on my last freaking nerve. Everybody needed something. And I was like, just chill. Like you see me here, but I'm not here. Like I'm not your bitch. Okay. Stop asking me 500 questions. And you know what? It won't kill them. I did that even when mine were little. Like obviously if it's an infant baby, you meet their needs. But like if it's just them being demanding, it is okay. It's a really important life lesson to teach them that you don't get everything you want right in the same second that you're demanding it. And secondly, I think that it also shows them what acceptable behavior is as an adult. Acceptable behavior isn't me being mean to them. No, but it's me putting up a boundary and saying, I can't help you with that right now because I've already committed to doing this. And you can either figure that out or you can wait the 20, 30 minutes until I'm done, and then I'm more than happy to help you make this happen. That is a boundary, parents, moms, we can do with our spouses as well. And I think it's a really important thing because I know I get caught up in it. I know a lot of you do too, where it's like you feel like you're the last thing on the list and you need to almost get permission in order to work on your journey, which is not the case. I want you to flip it. I want you to obviously meet your family's needs, but that means that you meet your needs and you prioritize your journey and you put on your own oxygen mask, because if we don't, we're going to crash and burn and we're going to be crabby and we're going to be less than we could be, right? Okay, so you can start tomorrow. You can start next Monday. I am officially starting next Monday. And I'm super excited about it. So if you want to do 6:45 with me, I still haven't ordered my kit. So you can order your kit too. You have plenty of time, okay? It's all right. Something that I am excited about is, and I might be wrong, I'm hoping I'm not wrong. This might have been a limited time offering, so I might come back and correct myself in a minute. but they're doing the body, which is our newest thing, right? It is the live fitness workouts, Beachbody On Demand Interactive. And so they're doing the beta run right now, and the people who have a subscription to Nutrition Plus, which is a free bonus everybody gets with a challenge pack, and then it goes on, they charge you, I think it's $19.99 a month after that, and you get access to a whole bunch of stuff. In the past, I've told people, I don't really think you need it because you have access to so many great tools already, but if you have that, you get access, I do believe, you still get access to the beta run of Body, where that means that you could actually register for a class with Autumn or with Megan Davies or Elise Joan, the bar girl. Like, all of them are going to be doing classes, plus they just introduced a whole bunch of new instructors for this new platform. So that will not be included with your Beachbody On Demand. Like, that's its own separate thing, but it's something you can do in addition. So if you're like, I can't get motivated, this could be a really good option for you to try. I mean, I think there's like the first 100 people that sign up for each class will be featured on the background, which means they can see you and they can give you coaching cues. They can tell you if your form is jacked up or if they see you slacking off. So some people really, really do well with that kind of thing. To be honest, it makes me want to vomit in my mouth and turn off my camera and be like, oh no! But as your fearless leader, I'm going to try it for a month because it's free, right? Supposedly. With beta, I think it's still free. I might have missed the window, the cutoff window, which if I did, I'm going to be super disappointed. I'm still going to pay for it for a month if I have to, just to try it and see what I think. You know, you try things and you see what's a fit. You see what serves you and what excites you, and then you just go from there. You reassess as many times as needed. So anyways, I'm doing 645, which is the new program coming out. It's already come out by Amala Caesar. If you order a pack, you can be invited to his actual bod group. But that is ending soon. That might have already ended soon. How are we in August? I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to order my kit. That is my plan. I still have, here we are on Sunday. I should only have 1 week left of Transform 20. I actually have 2. I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to double up if I can next week if my neck feels up to it. And if not, then I might push my 645 1 more week. But I'm starting the 75 hard version next Monday. Not tomorrow, a week from Monday. So don't wait for me. But if you want to start this, let's get going, okay? If you have questions about it, drop them below. Comment, tag me or your coach. It's your journey. So the time will pass whether or not you're showing up or you're just making excuses and kicking the can down the road. So why not collect some wins, collect some proof that you are, in fact, in charge of this journey and that you are worthy of showing up, and just do the thing, right? Right. All right, so earlier, when I first got on here, I put some powder in here if you're still watching. That was my Bevy. It's a tea supplement that Beachbody came out with a while ago. There's 2 different flavors. There's pomegranate berry and there's lemon. And I've sent quite a few of you samples if you've ordered something recently, just as a thank you and to try it. I really like it. I think it might bloat me, but I'm drinking it because I have it and I like it. So anyways, all right, that is your Sunday update. If you are gonna commit, drop a comment, let us know what program you're gonna do and which of these 2 options you're gonna do, 75 hard or I choose me. There's no right or wrong path. It's just about you owning your journey and getting momentum and being proud of yourself, okay? So to recap one last time, I'm gonna do 75 hard, which means I'm committing 75 days of my life. If I mess up, if one day isn't perfect, I don't go back to day 1. I just pick right back up where I left off. I note what derailed me, why I self-sabotage. I kind of sit with that, and then I release it, and I move on to the very next day. So you're welcome to do it that way with me, or you can be hardcore. This is your journey, so you have to do what resonates with you. But I hope you choose one of these. I hope that you decide that you're going to recommit or continue to commit to your journey, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I just want you to win.